venue for the last race. Race 8 of day 1 of the ESL R1 Major about to get underway right now. James Baldwin with a good start on the inside line there. He'll immediately pull alongside pole sitter Darren McCormack, but can't get through. McCormack holds the inside in towards the first turn. Baldwin going to give him a hard time in towards the first chicane. He'll brake late, but he won't go through. Meanwhile, behind, it's RHG making the dives, and Erhan Yuyovski, a lot of contact in the midfield, but they all make it out the other side.
Yeah, certainly so. It was actually fairly clean into the first corner. Darren McCormack's going to continue to lead. Luke Bennett actually dropping almost backwards into the clutches of Marco Pajic. He's trying to work his way forward. He's trying to get some more points. At the moment, it's all very civilised on the run around Curva Grande as we head up towards a Rogier once again. A little bit of squeezing, a touch of squeezing from Kazdorp on Pajic. Also a dive down the inside from Mitchell de Jong, who's going to go around the outside as they leave the Rogier. This would have to be a mega move around the outside of Lesmo 1.
Yeah, there's two right-handers coming up, I'm afraid, for de Jong, so he's not going to be able to do it there. Pajic will hold on to 8th place for now, and he'll stack up those 4 behind him. There's the other Porsche Coanda Esports driver there, Mac Backham, at the back of the field at the moment. Joni Tomala involved in this. He'll be advancing through. He needs more points than 1, which is where he's at right now.
Yeah, the defensive line being taken a little bit from McCormack there. It was more so to break slipstream on the run up towards Ascari. He takes the first curb and they race their way through. At the moment, the 2 Mercs at the front of the grid are starting to pull away from that BMW of Enzo Benito behind, but he's got the double slipstream, which comes into pure effect now on the race down towards the Parabolica and then out of it down towards the Rettifilio.
On board with Baldwin in towards the Parabolica, looking for that exit out of this corner. It's still battling side by side behind. This is Niels Niox getting through on this occasion ahead of Mitchell de Jong, although it's a very, very good exit from Niox. De Jong pulls out of the slipstream, but Niox has got some, and so De Jong won't be going anywhere. Joni Tomala certainly will be. He's got the double slipstream. He'll go to the very inside. We'll go 3 wide in towards turn number 1, and side by side for the race lead. James Baldwin, outside line through turn 1, gives him the inside for the second part. Darren McCormack won't give in. He should hold on through the Curva Grande.
Brilliant stuff between the 2 Mercedes at the front of the field. 1 Williams, 1 Mercedes AMG Petronas Esports team. As there comes Enzo Benito, who's just been oh wow, that was close. He got covered off quite late from James Baldwin. Said, nah, you're not going around the outside there, mate. As Enzo Benito darts, ducks and weaves across the braking zone as Darren McCormack sent it in to take over the race lead once again. But the up and under could be good for James Baldwin as we head down towards Lesmo 1.
He can't do it though. Enzo Benito's alongside him instead, and so the 3 leaders remain somehow in the same positions they were before. Jakub Brzezinski's gotten ahead of Erhan Yuyovski for 4th place in the Williams Mercedes just behind as well, with Luke Bennett very much embroiled in that battle as well. What a great fight that was, and how aggressive was Enzo Benito around the Curva Grande.
Yeah, wow, was he? He was trying to make it 3 wide in the run towards the Rogier, which I've not seen too many times in my sim racing commentary career. We head through Ascari once again, and you're absolutely right. The top 3 remain in order. McCormack, Baldwin, Benito, Brzezinski ahead of Yuyovski. Bennett still remains in 6th place. He's not been able to work his way forward yet.
Not yet. He's still in the front group though, at least,
yes,
which gives him the opportunity to move forward. If he was at the front of a separate group, he'd find it very, very tricky indeed. Coming towards the end of lap 2 then at Monza in the final race of the afternoon. For Group A, it's Darren McCormack from James Baldwin, Enzo Benito, Jakub Brzezinski and Erhan Yuyovski, your top 5. The slipstream down the front straight should provide some opportunity in towards turn 1, possibly for Benito, who's closest here. Erhan Yuyovski is alongside Brzezinski as well, just behind this camera shot. It's going to be side by side. Yuyovski not really far enough alongside to actually make it work.
No, he should be scoring decent points being in 5th place, but he obviously wants a little bit more than that. He wants to move himself even further ahead of his teammate in the point standing of Yuri Toman, but also, again, closer towards the front. His eyes are on victory overall in this competition. Brzezinski seems to be struggling for speed right now because Yuyovski's trying to send one in. Of course, Luke Bennett is going to pick up any pieces he can, but Bennett was on the brakes early. He doesn't want to get involved in this fight, mostly because his dad's watching over his shoulder, and I'm sure Tony would, not be too pleased if he sees his son take any unnecessary risk at this point.
No, absolutely. There is the case of the fact that it's only 4 points anyway, so he might as well he might as well try. But even so, I don't know if he's quite going to take that attitude into it. The top three are getting away just a little bit, McCormack, Baldwin and Benito, because you got that battle from Brzezinski on backwards. They're all trying to break the slipstream down towards Ascari here as we take a look at that really great battle for the race lead. This is good racing towards turn one, but just watch when Enzo Benito gets involved in the black and red line BMW. It is absolutely wonderful to watch.
But was it too late of a move from Baldwin? So we will see. We'll go on to Curva Grande now. The Team Redline car moves over, and he's just being covered off. Nah, it's not too late. That's just basically saying, I think not, mate. Absolutely not. And then this send. How good is this from Dara?
Yeah, this is fantastic, round the outside, not giving up at all. Baldwin realised that, so had to slow up through the second part. Very nearly gave Benito the chance to come back again. Erhan Yuyovski and Luke Bennett then, side by side. There's the same red line BMW going side by side. Cheekily, Jakub Brzezinski clearly prefers Erhan Yuyovski because he's given him the slipstream rather than Luke Bennett, even though there was no tactical difference in it at all. Marco Pajic and Yuri Kastorp also fight side by side towards turn one. It should be Pajic on the outside, which gives him the inside and the place into seventh.
Yeah, but the thing is the drive off. If you can actually stay there, the drive off going around the outside. If you're on the inside for the first part, outside for the second, it gives you the drive off going up towards Curva Grande where you have the inside line as well. It's very difficult to race those bits and kind of think of 3 corners ahead. But that's what you kind of have to do at this sort of level. Kastorp unable to get past Pajic at the moment. Did you see how casual Enzo Benito was, by the way, on the start-finish straight? One hand on the wheel, other hand in his lap. He's basically just sat there thinking, this is fine. Don't worry about it. I'm already in a decent position. I'm just going to let you two fight out a little bit, and when you crash, I'll pick up the pieces.
And to be fair, it's mission accomplished for him this weekend almost, because he's gone from outside the top 12 to into it, which no other driver's been able to do from outside the top 12. Of course, at the expense of Max Berneke, who started within it. So it's, it's I don't want to say job complete, but he's got into the second day, which at the start of the day was by no means a given.
And also, not only that, this will actually show how strong Enzo Benito has been in this. Is not only has he gone from outside to in, he's also going in and also moving quite a bit forward in the top 10.
He might do, yeah.
Results from this race, especially if he can get on the podium in this race.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty healthy to move him forward and once again closer towards his teammate, who at this point actually would not be retaking over the lead of the championship.
Not right now, but there's still plenty of racing to go. 5 laps remaining, and Darren McCormack is getting more and more aggressive in his defence. It's side by side between himself and Baldwin. Just seen that Williams Mercedes has a little bit more in terms of straight line legs there. Outside line for Baldwin once again in towards turn one. How late is he going to be on the brakes? I think he's just going to back off on this occasion. And the same story in that battle for 4th place as well. We return to this sort of conundrum again, like we saw at Spa. When is too early? Do you wait for the last lap? It's a fine balance you've got to strike.
And also with Monza, unlike with, say, for example, Spa, you slipstream up towards Les Combes, you overtake into Les Combes, and you try and then use the middle sector of the circuit to pull away. Where do you overtake around here where you can pull away from someone? You can't. You've got here, if you overtake into the Roger, you've got the short straight up towards Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2, and maybe you might have enough of a gap to keep that into Ascari where you have to go full send. But then after that, it's the slipstream which drags you back in. It's such a difficult circuit to break the slipstream. The only way you have it broken is by being a bit silly and fighting too hard for positions which you shouldn't need to be fighting for.
Exactly. You're not going to do it on your own. You wouldn't imagine.
Not at this level.
No, surely not. We might be able to, but they might be able to do it from us.
I reckon I could break the slipstream from you.
Yeah, I'm not going to doubt that too much either. McCormack is withstanding this pressure really quite well at the moment, and it's not been the best day for him. He's been up there. He's not been on the podium yet though. A couple of top 5s. Of course, he's had that problem with Luke Bennett as well at the Hockenheim and all of the saga that came from that. He has lost 2 championship places today though.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, like you say, for some drivers it's been a difficult day. It's not been the perfect day. So for some drivers it's been the perfect storm, if anything else.
Yeah.
But that's sometimes how these LAN events go. You show up to them and you never know really which version of yourself you're actually going to turn up. I was actually kind of joking with McCormack about this before we came here. I was like, which Dara are we going to get this weekend? Because there's 2 very different sides of it, and we're not really 100% sure. Well, we'll have to wait and see as to which Jakub Brzezinski and which Erhan Yuyovski we get in this. At the moment, the Yuyovski we're getting is one that's moving forward up to 4th position. Decent move there from Yuyovski, and shout out to his uncle who's clapping in the crowd.
Absolutely. Nice move. And so up into 4th position for the moment. Brzezinski, of course, out, as we know, of the major here this afternoon. Bennett very much not so, but not going for a move on this occasion either. 2 red lines inside the top 6 then, in that famous BMW, as Yuri Kastrov gets back in front of Marko Pejic again. He alongside Joni Tommala getting dragged into this fight in the bottom half, really, when they ideally should be gaining points. But Pejic can't have any complaints about his day today.
No, certainly not. Like I say, his pace and form has actually been really fantastic. To be fair, like, he's had flashes in the online season, obviously with the race victory and one of the final victory. He's had flashes, but it's just about piecing it all together again. And who knows, maybe this is the weekend. Like, this is the thing, is that looking at it now, to be honest, some drivers, you might see a couple of drivers that struggle, and then suddenly a night's sleep is enough to put them into a completely different frame of mind coming into tomorrow. So if you are a fan of a driver that's maybe down in 6th, 7th, 8th in the standings, tomorrow's a new day. Let's go with that.
I can't write anyone off from this at the moment, because the maximum they're going to be down, in my eyes, is 40 points or so. And when it's 25 for a race win, yes, it's going to take you a minimum of 2 to catch up, but that could happen. Yeah. That can very much happen. So you never know. And you can't underestimate how close it's going to be as well when we're seeing these guys time after time after time, as we will do tomorrow. James Baldwin will be seeing a lot of Darragh McCormack, you'd imagine. They're quite well matched at the moment. Outside line towards turn 1 again. He's giving it a real go on lap 7. Inside for turn 2. He might finally have the place. He'll have to give the same respect to McCormack on the outside.
Brilliant.
We're almost watching the replay. But that's the moment he was waiting for. Get to the inside for the Curva Grande. Don't have to go right round the outside. He's into the lead.
That is a brilliant move from James Baldwin. Enzo Benito sat on the rear end. Darragh McCormack going to try and do what he did a few laps ago as he sends it into the outside of the Roger. Thinks wisely of it, settles for second at the moment. Offline though, James Baldwin goes. The up and under potentially up towards the first leg. Could this drag Enzo Benito back into it? As we head our way up, the red line driver looks to the outside. They remain single file as they head their way through. Baldwin hangs onto the race lead. 2 laps left to go after this one. We've still got half of this one to complete.
And Yuyovski has just connected the 2 trains as well. So we had 2 trios beforehand. Now it's 1 6-car train from Baldwin down to Bennett at the back in the top half of this order. Under the bridge they'll go and towards Ascari. They probably won't fight into here or the Parabolica. It's all about waiting for that front straight and turn 1. Now we'll see though if Baldwin does have that little bit of an edge of pace, or whether these 2 are just really well matched and the slipstream is facilitating this fight.
I think genuinely, I think this is slipstream. I think this is slipstream every single day of the week. I think it all comes down to timing. It all comes down to risk versus reward. You knowing when and how to defend. Look at Wisniewski in the previous race. When and how he was defending. He was kind of like not defending into some corners and was defending into others. And it worked brilliant because he knew which ones he needed to defend and wasn't just defending for the sake of defending. When you're defending for the sake of defending, that's when you're leaving yourself wide open.
Darragh McCormack gets very close then on the penultimate lap. There'll be another chance here into turn 1. He pulls out very late. He'll go later on the brakes. Side by side, very nearly contact. Baldwin skates in.
Whoa.
That was great racing between the 2. They were so close to contact, but they just about avoided it.
What a thrilling fight between Baldwin and McCormack. Of course, Baldwin's been in sim racing for quite a few years now and has been towards the front of it for quite a long period of that, including winning the 2022 Autosport Award for Best Driver of the Year. Darragh McCormack is one that's been moving forward again and again and again. I remember commentating on him 2 years ago and thinking this kid's got some talent. Here he is, absolutely showing it off as he's tried to battle with one of sim racing's best.
Absolutely.
Well, I say one off. There's a few in there. It might well be 5 other sim racing bests, including and then chucking it in for the 6th.
5 or 6 of, yeah, absolutely. Penultimate lap of the race here at Monza. Not long to go now in the first day of the ESL R1 Major here in Munich, and we're going to have a grandstand finish to the day. Yeah, Erhan Yuyovski is going to provide some of it too. He doesn't go for it into Ascari. He very much could have done.
Yeah, I mean, he gave it a good look, but again, Yuyovski might be playing a bit of a longer game here. To be fair, he might know, hang on, I'm in 4th position, I'm actually scoring some decent points here. Let's play the slightly long game. He knows how to get championships done, but unfortunately, tomorrow for him, it all comes down to win. Let's see what happens. Defensive line once again being taken by James Baldwin. Look at this gap, though, between McCormack and Benito, as Bennett's now getting himself involved in the mix, trying to get past Brzezinski.
He's been really close, actually, in these last couple of laps as Bennett. Now he'll have the chance, but he's so close, he might not even get a slingshot here, really. They'll all get possibly free wide here. Jajoski could be in a bit of trouble from Brzezinski, and Bennett could be trying to go through as well. Benito's in trouble here. We'll see side by side between these two groups, possibly for the lead as well. Darragh McCormack to the outside. He very nearly got squeezed out there. Baldwin is defending aggressively at turn one. Look at the fight for third though. 4 cars separated like you wouldn't believe. The 2 red lines on the inside. It's RHE and Williams on the outside. It's Benito versus Jajoski at the front, with the Macedonian right round the outside on the front in the Audi. He should have the place there. Here comes the battle for the lead as well.
Yeah, McCormack's going to give it a go, but he backs out of it once again. Out deep, though, goes the Mercedes, though. And he squeezes out wide. That was naughty. McCormack getting pushed off as we head our way through. Erhan Jajoski unable to make his way past Benito. Brzezinski might well be dropping back behind Bennett. After all of that, this might be the only switch in all of that. Team Redline down the inside as he heads into Lesmo 2. That was a little naughty, though, from Baldwin, squeezing out wide of McCormack.
I don't know about you, but I thought that was over the line as well in terms of what he did to McCormack there. After all, McCormack wasn't given any room on the outside line. Speaking of outside line, Jakub Brzezinski is going to try and use it right now on Luke Bennett, although maybe... Oh, he's going to go for this. Wow. Side by side into Ascari. They make contact. That must have been a nerve-wracking moment for the points leader. Well done, Jakub Brzezinski. He gets through. Luke Bennett's not done with you just yet, though. Side by side towards the final corner for 5th place. A couple of points on the line for Luke Bennett. Jakub Brzezinski just trying to have a nice afternoon, to be honest. Inside line, he should hold on by the looks of it. There's more contact as well. Meanwhile, it's James Baldwin who's going to win the final race of the day. It's a great victory as well from him. Darragh McCormack, Enzo Benito and Erhan Jajoski follow on. Race 8 of the ESL R1 Major in Munich goes to James Baldwin, who takes it by the smallest of margins again. What an exciting race.
Yeah, thrilling stuff. Won the first, won the last. He is phenomenal.